Deductive reasoning. There are two types or major types of reasoning, the deductive and inductive. It refers to the process by which someone creates a conclusion as well as how they believe their conclusion to be true. Today, we're going to focus our discussion on deductive reasoning. So what is deductive reasoning? Deductive reasoning is a process of reaching a conclusion by applying general ideas called the premises. Visually, deductive reasoning is represented as a funnel that narrows a general idea into a specific conclusion. Recognize the rules, laws, and theories. So, inani ang itsura sa atong deductive reasoning kung ato na siyang i-present visually. So, at the top, you have the observation, hypothesis, prediction, verification, and then the end part is our conclusion, provided that we follow the rules, laws, and theories. To explain further, can you see deductive reasoning is the opposite of inductive reasoning. So, if inductive reasoning is a valid guess, deductive reasoning is the basic form of valid reasoning. So why? Because it follows the specific rules, laws, and theories. So na siya ginasunod nga process. And also, if, for example, sa research, if inductive reasoning is the way of making hypothesis, theories, so mag-observe ka, naka-hypothesis, naka-theories, that is your inductive reasoning. Naka-probable na conclusion. Now, deductive reasoning is the examination or the testing of the possibilities to reach a specific logical conclusion. So, testing your hypothesis, testing your theories with the proper process. So, muna siya ang atuang deductive reasoning. So, mas legit siya, mas nakakagibasehan nga data sa imong deductive reasoning kumpara sa inductive reasoning. Okay? So, the result sa atong deductive reasoning is the true conclusion, whereas sa inductive reasoning, ang atong result is probable conclusion. Okay? So, muna siya ang giingon that deductive reasoning uses general procedure principles to reach a specific conclusion. So now, deductive reasoning, ang pinaka-basic na form sa deductive reasoning is what we call syllogism. Syllogism is a form of deductive reasoning where you arrive at a specific conclusion by examining two other premises or ideas. So, muna siyang example sa atong syllogism. A implies B. B implies C. Therefore, A implies C. Where, ang buot pasabot-an niya, parehas siya sa transitive property of equality, where A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A is equal to C, where A, B, and C are proposition on the general ideas that we are referring to. So, kung si A kuno, i-imply niya si B, si B kuno, i-imply niya si C. So, since parehas man niya to B, ang common nato diri nga denominator is RB, therefore kani si A gi-imply niya si C. So kung ato pud siyang i-equate dito sa pikas, murag similar man gud ni silang duha kaning syllogism and transitive property of equality. So klaro kayo nga if A kuno is equal to B and B is equal to C, then CA equal to C. Okay? So I hope nasabtanan ninyo, since this is just a review. You have already tackled this down during your senior high school days. Now let's try an example. Here is our example number 1. All men are mortal. Brian is a man. Therefore, Brian is mortal. So as you can see, kaning duha sa taas, these are our premises. All men are mortal and Brian is a man. Mo ni siya tong premises. And then, therefore, kaning last natong statement is our true conclusion. So, anong nahimo mo na siyang true conclusion, sir? Ato na siyang i-test. So, using the symbols, all men are mortal. Kaning men mo ni siya ang ato ang i-represent as B. So, B implies C. So, muna siya ang mortal, muna siya ang atong C. Then, second statement, Brian would be our A, is a man. So, kung makita ninyo, ma-observe ninyo, the same na silang duha, nag-coincide silang duha, since both are equal to B, all men are mortal, then si Brian, man po siya, which is present in the first, which is true in the first statement. Therefore, Brian A implies C is mortal. Okay? So mo gini ang atong tan-awon nga clue in syllogism, deductive reasoning. Basta gani kana silang duha related to each other, duha ka B, then that is deductive reasoning using syllogism form. Okay, so let's try example number 2. All even numbers are divisible by 2. So, ang ato diri even numbers are B, and then 2 is our C. Next statement, 22 is even. So, 22 is A, and even is B. So, makita ninyo, parehas na sila, connected na silang even and even. Therefore, 22A is equal, or A implies C, which is 2. Therefore, 22 is divisible by 2. Okay? So, now let's try to solve a logic puzzle using deductive reasoning. So here is our statement. Each of 4 siblings, Sheila, Maria, Sarah, and Brian, has a different cars: Honda, Mitsubishi, Toyota, and Suzuki. From the following clues, determine the owners of each car. So we have here our first clue. Sheila, living alone, stays next door to her sister who bought the Honda car, and very far from her sister who bought the Suzuki car. Clue number 2. Maria, also living alone, is younger than the one who bought the Mitsubishi car and older than her sibling who bought the Toyota car. And clue number 3. Sarah did not like Toyota car and Suzuki, but she and her sibling who bought the Toyota car live in the same house. So muna siya ang atong 3 clues. So based ana nga clues, dira nato kuhaon ang ato ang conclusion. So ato na siyang step by step pag-solve. So dapat careful ta, critical ta sa mga clues nga gihatag. Dili kay ato lang siyang basahon, diretso lang dayon nato i-put ang atong data. Okay, so now let's try to solve this one step by step. So starting from clue number 1, Sheila, living alone, stays next door to her sister who bought the Honda car and very far from her sister who bought the Suzuki car. So para mas dali na to siya ma-solve, ibutang na to siya sa table para ma-input na to tanan ang data. So here in the top part, na diri ang atong mga cars: Honda, Mitsubishi, Toyota, and Suzuki. And then on the left part, naadiri ang mga names mga mag-igsuon: Sheila, Maria, Sarah, and Brian. So sige, ito ang atong clue number 1. Sheila, living alone, stays next door to her sister nga nagpalit kuno sa Honda car. So meaning, dili na si Sheila ang manag-iya sa Honda car. Dili na siya pwede makatag-iya since na may tag-iya sa Honda car. So dapat kuno kani silang upat na kada usa sa ila naapoy gitag-iyahan nga usa ka sakyanan. So isa 1:1 ang ratio, dili pwede na isa sa ila magdubli. So since si Sheila stays next door man siya sa sister niya nga na ay Honda car, so dili na siya ang magkatagiya sa Honda car. And then clue number 2, very far daw siya sa sister niya nga na ay Suzuki car, so therefore dili na pud siya makatagiya sa Suzuki car. Okay, so now let's move on to our clue number 2. Maria, also living alone, is younger than the one who bought the Mitsubishi car and older than her sibling who bought the Toyota car. So, ato na pong i-input sa ato ang table. Si Maria, so dili na niya ma-own ang Mitsubishi. Kay na may tagiya na nga igsuon niya nga mas younger, ay mas older sa iya. Then, dili po niya matagiya ng Toyota since naagyapoy tagiya nga Toyota car nga mas younger sa iya. Okay, so now let's move to our last clue. Sarah did not like Toyota and Suzuki cars, but she and her sibling who bought the Toyota car live in the same house. So ato na po nang i-input ang ang data sa table. So dili man daw ganahan si Sarah og Toyota ug Suzuki. So atong i-cross ang atong Toyota ug Suzuki, crash out nato. So naa na lang on either Honda or Mitsubishi. So si Brian wala pa gid siya, din wala pa gid tay clue. So now let's go back to our clues. Let's try to check kung asa ta na miss out. So dapat critical ta when reading our clues. So take note, ang pinaka-final part aning atong clue number 3, mo ni siyang pinaka-vital part sa atong clue. She and her sibling who bought the Toyota car live in the same house. So meaning si Sarah naa siya'y kauban sa balay. So take note sa atong earlier clues na si Sheila ug si Maria living alone. Di ba? Living alone na si Sheila and Maria. Whereas si Sarah na siya'y kauban sa balay, which is her other sibling. So wala na may lain sibling nga nabilin nga kauban nga walay gipuy-an, di ba? Si Brian na lang man. So meaning si Brian to ang kauban ni Sarah sa balay, which is also the owner of the Toyota because Sarah is living together with her sibling who bought the Toyota car. So ato na lang ibutang sa ato ang table, si Brian ang owner sa Toyota car. So since siya naman ang owner sa Toyota, i-crash out na nato ang Honda, Mitsubishi, and Suzuki kang Brian. Okay? So moving on, let's input more data. So since we know na si Brian naman ang tag-iya sa Toyota car, kana si Sheila dili na niya pwede matag-iyahan ang Toyota. So atong i-crash out, ang only na bilin nga sakyanan para kang Sheila is Mitsubishi. Okay? So moving forward, since si Sheila naman ang tag-iya sa Mitsubishi, si Sarah dili na niya pwede tag-iyahan ang Mitsubishi. So crash out, ang iyang car is Honda. And then moving to our last part or table. So since kang Sarah naman ang Honda, automatic crash out na nato kang Maria. And then Suzuki mo'y napilong kang Maria. Okay? So for the last part, mag-conclude na dayon ta. Therefore, muna ni atong conclusion. Sheila is the owner of the Mitsubishi car. Maria is the owner of the Suzuki car. Sarah is the owner of the Honda car. And Brian is the owner of the Toyota car. So we arrive at a true conclusion. Since naman tayo ginabasihan nga data, ani nga conclusion. Okay? So now, let's try another example. Use deductive reasoning to show that the following procedure produces a perfect cube. So what is a perfect cube? So perfect cube means pag imo siyang i-multiply katulo, ang ma-produce niya is whole number, or if nakay-dako kay nga whole number, imo siyang i-cube root, ma-produce nimo ana dili decimal, whole number siya. So pick 3 consecutive integers Multiply these three consecutive integers and then add the middle integer to the product. So let's follow this one step by step. Ato ni follow nga procedure. So papik daw kuno ta og 3 ka consecutive integers. So para dili ta maglisod, ang atong piliyon is 1, 2 and 3 para dali ra. Okay? So what is the first thing to do? Multiply daw kuno ang 3 consecutive integers. So 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 is equal to 6. And the next instruction is add the middle integer to the product. So what is our middle integer? 2. Yan naman siya tunga, di ba? Sudpod. So 2 plus 6 is equal to 8. Now, diri na dahil nato i-check is 8 a perfect cube. So atong testingan. So cube root of 8 is equal to 2. Or ato siyang i 2 raised to the power of 3. I-multiply katulo ang 2. 2 times 2 is equal to 4. 4 times 2 is equal to 8. Therefore, 8 is a perfect cube number since 2 raised to the power of 3 is equal to 8, or cube root of 8 is equal to 2. So you can use any consecutive integers. Testingan na ninyo. If you try to use 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, the same ang result na makuha nato ani. Therefore, our procedure produces a perfect cube. Okay? So, that's it for our lesson for today. I hope you have learned something. So, before nata mag-end sa ato ang session, let's do some exercises first to check if nasabtan bagid ninyo, na-recall bagid ninyo nga lesson from your senior high school days. Okay, so I have prepared here 2 exercise. Duha lang para dili ra kayo lisod sa inyo So now let's check it out. Instruction. Comment down below your answer with complete name, course, year, and section. So take note, dapat kompleto gini siya. Tanan detalyeng ginapangayo diri kay aron dali ra mo graduhan, di ba? Dili mo lisod pangitaon. Okay, exercise. Question number 1. Solve a logical puzzle. Each of 4 neighbors, Sean, Maria, Sarah, and Brian, has a different occupation: editor, banker, chef, or dentist. From the following clues, determine the occupation of each neighbor. Clue number 1. Maria gets home from work after the banker, but before the dentist. Clue number 2. Sarah, who is the last to get home from work, is not the editor. Number 3. The dentist and Sarah leave for work at the same time. And clue number 4. The banker lives next door to Brian. Okay, now question number 2. Use deductive reasoning to show that the following procedure produces a number that is 4 times the original number. Pick a number, multiply the number by 8, add 6 to the product, divide the sum by 2, and subtract. So all you need to do for this one, sa atong gidiscuss kaganina, is just follow the procedure, follow the instructions. Okay? So that's it for today. So I really hope that you have learned something, and thank you for listening. Good day and God bless.